First and foremost, good evening, members of the council, community leaders, and our citizens. Thank you for allowing me to speak to you guys today. My name is Hendrix. I was formerly the school resource officer at the Tolleson High School. I'm here today to share concerns that weigh heavily on my heart. A few that not only affect me personally, but that affect the broader implications on the safety, the trust, the effectiveness of our police department and the schools and this community as a whole. As an SRO, I have dedicated, the last 2.5 years to the safety and well-being of our students at the Tolleson High School. My role is not simply just about law enforcement. It is about building relationships, fostering trust, creating a safe environment where education can thrive. It is a position I take great pride in, and I approach it with integrity and commitment every single day. However, in the past recent months, I have faced a series of challenges that have made it increasingly difficult for me to fulfill my responsibilities effectively. Specifically, I've experienced working in a hostile work environment and continuous harassment from the school district and the superintendent pressuring me to leave the Tolleson High School. And that individual's name is Mr. Jeremy Calles. The Tolleson environment was so hostile that I considered leaving the school many times. However, my dedication to the students, I couldn't let it go. This has caused me to dread work coming into work every single day. This has also resulted in me using a lot of my sick time just to take the day off. The hostility began in September when I made an arrest on a student that was engaging in a domestic violence situation with his girlfriend. This student, in the midst of the arrest, fought with myself and 4 other officers. Some of these officers that are here today. Mr. Calles did not agree with the way the arrest was made. He continuously asked through the principal if I can drop the charges. I told him I couldn't because I was the victim and I wouldn't have done so anyway. From that point in September is, when I learned that he was relentlessly pursuing, having me removed from the high school. I learned that he emailed our city management and persistently, kept telling them that he wanted me out of the school. He included emailing our chief as well. I learned about this as he made a complaint on me saying that I used excessive force. From that excessive force complaint, I was completely justified for my own department's investigation of the incident and the arrest. Obviously, nothing happened to me. I wasn't removed from the school at that time. He continuously told our principal, Felipe Mandaraga, that I displayed police brutality. In a district meeting, he would tell them that he wanted me gone continuously, and luckily they trusted enough to tell me. My arrest tactics, again, were justified from my police department. Throughout the time that I was under investigation, if anybody notices that my attitude was, it sucked. I wasn't happy. But the school staff and the school administrators constantly let me know that they're glad that I stepped in to take action. They're glad that I was there to be there for that day. They know that I'm there to protect them. In fact, they would actually tell you they love me having on campus. I've even received messages from them since I've been removed from the campus, basically telling me that they miss me and that they want me back. I'm grateful for them and that they were able to trust me and trust that I would do my job effectively. Mr. Prado, the assistant principal of discipline, is the one that I work with daily, every day while I'm at the school. He proceeded to tell me that the chief operations officer, Mr. Tolleson, was watching me on camera. Okay. When I say me, I also mean Officer Rivas as well. He was watching us on camera. I had no issues with him watching us on camera until the critique started coming that he made comments such as, it's unfortunate we have 2 SROs because they're always acting as one. I found those statements to be disturbing because he was actually never on the school site. I never saw him there to be able to verify that information. That allowed me to know that he had to have been watching cameras. He also made critiques of security staff during lunch that we may group up or we may stand together. And I see no issue with that as long as we were responding to what we needed to respond to. The school does have AI cameras, so I know he can single out by typing in a database specific descriptions to be able to follow them on camera everywhere they go. Over the past few months, I have seen Mr. Calles after learning that he wanted me gone. I have seen him on campus. I've seen him outside of campus. I've been professional, and I've even tried to acknowledge him by saying good morning. Every single time that I've tried that, he would simply just look away from me. He wouldn't acknowledge me at all. I found that extremely rude, especially another time where I saw him outside of campus with the school board member, Mr. Chapman. I was exiting my patrol vehicle to get ready for the school day before school started. I exited my vehicle and I said, "Hey, good morning, gentlemen." Mr. Chapman waved and said, "Good morning." Mr. Calles turned his head. At that point, I knew at some point this man has a personal problem against me. On January 6th, as the city opened the new Mesquite restaurant, I saw Derek Tolleson, the chief operations officer, outside of the school campus. We went to support the city based on the chief's request that all officers go support the city in opening our new business. When I returned to the high school later, I learned from Mr. Prado that Mr. Derek Tolleson called him and said, "Hey, do you know where your SROs are?" Prado said, "No, I trust them to, do what they're doing or go where they're supposed to go." He says, "Okay, well, I saw them leaving at 10:30 together. You should know where they are at all times." He even bookmarked it to his computer where other administrators can see at what time we left and what time we came through the cameras. I thought that was very uncomfortable. When I learned that was happening, again, the thoughts of quitting the high school came back into my head. It made me also uncomfortable to wonder how many times has this man decided to watch me on camera or to follow my actions on what I was doing. At that moment in time, I felt the immense pressure from the school district that they wanted me gone. I drafted a memorandum essentially saying that I wanted to come out from the high school. I wanted to leave. I did that under pressure. I didn't do that because I wanted to go. I did that because I felt they wouldn't stop messing with me. They wouldn't stop bothering me. I felt the environment was so severe that I wanted to leave. I reported this to the school staff that I would most likely be coming out if we could find a replacement for me. We didn't find a replacement. However, the department understood that I was extremely bothered from that. In late January, Mr. Prado asked me, "Hey, Eric, when's going to be your last day?" I told him I didn't know because we didn't have a replacement yet. He told me to keep him informed because Mr. Calles has been asking for answers from the district grants coordinator. When is he leaving? And those emails came from Miss Angela Madsen. Again, I'm extremely grateful that he trusted to tell me that. On February 4th, I came into the school district, into the school, and I learned that there was a third-party lawyer or attorney that's been talking to staff. Again, staff trusted me enough to tell me that this lawyer or this attorney has been asking questions about me and my character, and to basically if what they saw was justified in my arrest that I made in September. Again, very unsettling considering I was already cleared from my own department.
Hello, Miss Jennifer.
On February 6th, while at the high school, I responded to a disorderly student on campus. When I arrived, I saw Mr. Felipe Mandaraga, Dr. Perkins, and another teacher, Mr. Southern. They were holding a backpack away from a student. The student was very aggressive. He had his fist clenched, and he was cussing at them. "Give me my fucking backpack. Give me my fucking backpack." He even said, I'll fuck you guys up. I'm gonna fuck you guys up. I responded out there and I stood and watched. I turned on my body-worn camera to record the entire incident. I asked Mr. Mandaraga, let me know when you need me to stop this, as he was pushing Mr. Mandaraga directly in front of me. I said, let me know when you want me to stop this. He said, go ahead, take him now. While I was there, I told this young man to stop. I grabbed his arms. I told him to stop. He didn't seem too fond of complying with me. We went to the ground. I took him to the ground, as that's the easiest way to effect an arrest for an uncompliant subject. Mr. Mandaraga later briefed Mr. Calles on the incident. And the first answer that comes out of his mouth is, why the fuck is Hendrix still on my campus? I left for the day after booking that young gentleman into juvenile. On February 7th, on the way into work, I received a phone call from Mr. Mandaraga on the way to school. This is around 10 a.m. He advised me that Jeremy Calles was reporting to him to order me to not show up to work today, that I am no longer allowed on the campus, and that I'm no longer the SRO at the high school. He also told me that Mr. Calles was going to seek to terminate my contract as an SRO for the high school. I packed up my stuff and left. Later that day, around 1:30, I met with Officer Rivas outside of the high school. While I was outside, I saw, again, Chief Operations Officer Derek Tolleson outside. He stopped to talk to me and Rivas, and he said to us that he had nothing to do with my removal. He told me it was him and her. I asked him, who is her? He said, this was Lisa's son and Jeremy Calles. They made the decision to remove you together. I told him he should have defended me. He said he did, but he was just doing as what he was told. Resulting in this, I'm extremely embarrassed and hurt that I had to leave the place that I loved without telling my side of the story. I was not given a proper due process, and I was wrongfully removed from the high school. It is even more embarrassing and painful that the staff and students may think that I quit on them. That's not my character. I am very grateful that I have received plenty of messages from school staff and administrators telling me that they miss me and they feel bad about what happened to me. I am grateful that I was able to earn their trust. This has had a major impact on my life. As I learned just this weekend, I haven't slept all weekend. It's also affected me at home. I haven't been an engaging father or a spouse, and it's taken a huge toll on my mental health. With the wrongdoing of the school district and Mr. Calles, I hope to gain some peace in the future. And I'm doing this for everybody, for all officers, for any officer that may come to the school in the future, that they're treated and welcomed as guests on the campus and that they're supported. I'm not going to be quiet. I'm going to say what I have to say. That's it.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Hendrix.